Well, I was kind of hoping for someone to just show up to liven the place up a bit, but I guess I can fill the silence with this area. Now, this is an area I don't do particularly often, simply because it's optional, and I normally take the master key, so I take the shortcut down to the lower undead bird. No, lower undead bird. No, that's not what that is. Blight Town. But I believe this boss, like Capra Demon, has an item that will be very beneficial to me for the rest of the playthrough. That puts me in RTSR range. Which, RTSR is fantastic in this run because everything will kill me in one hit anyways. So, I'm going to kill that. Now, the reason I killed the sorcerer up there, the channeler guy, is because if you don't, he will shoot you from above while you're fighting the gaping dragon. Now, that is something we don't want because obviously he could do plenty of damage to me just through my shield. So, we don't want him shooting stuff down on me, and let alone buffing the boss. I mean, it's not like he'll one-shot me any less without the buff, but him not having the buff can only be good. Not to mention the fact that I would have to then avoid all of the various shots that he's firing, which is just, you know, generally unpleasant. And something to be avoided if impossible. So I just basically took the shortest route to get the bonfire, and then get to the channeler so that I could kill him and then get here as quickly as possible. Without having to deal with the rest of the depths crap. Because I'm not a huge fan of this area. It has a couple of useful items, but mostly it's just the boss. Now you can hit him in the head to do more damage, however the safest place to hit him is the tail. And you also want to break the tail because he does various tail attack with it that can be difficult to avoid just due to the size of it. And so basically this boss is just, okay, wait for him to do this, punish that, about 3 hits, with this weapon at least. Oh, he didn't charge, interesting. Oh, now he's still in there, that's awesome. Now the solution to this attack is just run to the farthest end of the arena, and then charge. And 3. Charge. Sometimes he doesn't charge. I'm not very sure what the proc is for that. What stops him from doing it at least. But it's free damage, so I'm not going to complain. The stump can still hit you. So you have to be wary of that. And also, when he is doing the charge, even if he's not charging, if he's charging away from you, the hitbox is very generous and will still hit you if you get too close to him. This doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but it will break your equipment, so you have to be very careful about that. This time I'm going to hit twice because I got an order late. Charge, and this should be dead. Boss is not particularly hard once you know how to fight it. But, after that, no, he didn't give the item that I thought he did. Okay. Well, that is unfortunate. Let me grab this just in case it's changed. I don't think it is. However, next, we're going to go back up to Firelink and probably go to back to the Undead Asylum because I want to kill the Stray Demon, and then after that we'll do Quelaag. Now mostly we're doing that because one of the mod items, this Ring of Fallacious Power, can be given to Snuggly the Crow. I'm not sure what it gives for putting it there, but it does give something, which might also be useful. And I'm not sure if the Stray Demon's drop table is changed. What the fuck? Hello there. What did you do? That was odd. I've never seen that happen before. Maybe that was from where the channeler is? That's really odd. Now, if I were smart and a little brave, I probably wouldn't have rested at this bonfire, so I could just homeward bone back up to Firelink, but I am neither of those things. and I was predicting at least one death to the channeler, which thankfully didn't happen. And I'm dead. Cool. Yep, he didn't do anything, so I thought I was safe to attack. But that attack that he does has very little startup and does a lot of damage, even in regular playthroughs. So, just the better thing to do would have been to bait out the attack and then punish, as opposed to trying to preemptively punish him for not doing anything. Over there, sir. Yep. See. That was the correct play. Normally in these games, that is always the correct play. Bait and punish. Now I have to be careful here, because there is indeed a... Come on, guy. Oh yeah, she's up here. She is definitely parryable, however... I'm not a huge fan of that, so I'm just going to backstab her to death. And I also don't want to risk death. If you get them in the right position, it's fairly easy to chain backstab these girls, but the window is low and this hallway is pretty tight, so it's a little difficult. Now I'm going to go over here and free... Laurentius of the swamp, the Great Swamp.
I would have been here. Thank you.
Yeah, Laurentius of the Great Swamp. Okay, I was right. Couldn't quite remember that. Wow, that didn't kill me. Cool. That was a terrible roll, by the way. Don't roll like that. Now, if you hug this wall, those dogs won't actually aggro for some reason. It's really useful, I would say, because dogs in this run are frustrating at the best of times. And right now is not the best of times. Can you aggro, please? Come on. There we go. The easiest way to take care of them, I find, is to bait out that leaping attack. And then punish it. If you can outspace them and go just far enough back that they'll miss, that's ideal, because then you get a wider window for the punish. But if that's not an option, there is a window to block and still be able to punish. That could have been bad. Why would you walk on the... Okay. I have some issues with the lock-on system in this game, but you know what? We'll work on it. It's not so bad. I mean, it is kind of bad, but it's bearable. Oh, hi there! That could have been horrific. I'm not exactly sure how that happened. That should not have been able to happen. I guess the enemy phased through the floor? Or... I'm not sure, honestly. I'm not entirely sure how that happened. Oh, actually, you know what? I know what happened. He ran off over here, and then all the way back around. I'm glad he chose to do that attack, as opposed to the attack that one just did. So the little stick out the torch thing, as opposed to running towards you, because that definitely would have killed me. Because it just has such a wide area of effect, compared to the just poke it at you attack that he did. But now we're basically home free. There are no enemies really to worry about. Now that I've said that, of course, I've jinxed it. And I'm going to die to, like, this hollow here. No, sir, I do not want whatever it is you're selling. This playthrough will be the longest part of the entire run, simply because there's so much setup that goes into fresh start NG plus 7 run like this, because the enemies are so much more powerful, and additionally, if I want to get the... Whoa! That was quite the leap. Pretty sure he leapt all the way up the steps. Oh no. That could have been horrific. And tragic. If he chose to do a slightly faster attack, I could have died. Because the game decided that I wanted to do a plunging attack instead of just a normal R1. Because of my positioning. Okay, now we're home free, pretty much. We're going to rest at the bonfire and spend these souls. And, oh, you know what? And I just realized I made quite the amateur mistake. I forgot to equip the Gauntlets of Horrific Binding that I got by killing the Capra Demon, which, in the event that I failed Gaping Dragon, would have been incredibly useful. I'm just going to ignore the religious people, because that's what we do. Not that they offer anything really particularly useful for this run anyways. I'm not planning on using miracles. We'll just go over here. Oh, just barely made it. This scene really is kind of beautiful, honestly. The rays of light filtering through the canopy. Oh, here he comes. I just heard the wind beats. Or I guess here she comes would probably be the... Yeah, there we go. I'm just going to skip this cutscene because I don't feel like watching it, honestly. We're going to be very careful of these torch hollows. We want to aggro them as few at a time as possible. Ideally, I would have aggroed just one, but 2 is doable, probably, since I'll more likely than not one-shot them. Now, if they could hurry up just a smidgen. Come on, buddy. Yep. Yep, can one-shot him. I'll do an attack, there we go. Oh, you son of a bitch! I did the follow-up. They don't normally follow up if you space it right, but apparently I didn't space it right. Hopefully I'll respawn at the nest as opposed to back in Firelink. Never mind. That wouldn't be... That's not how this game works. That might be how Dark Souls 2 works. Dark Souls 3. But nope. Gotta run it back. At least we don't have to sit through the long animation the second time. Jeez, only just barely making it. I wonder if the remaster has any issues with the 60 frames thing. So I know in the original DS fix, that causes issues. Okay, let's try that one more time. Oh, I did pick it up, okay. Let's run that back. And hopefully not screw it up this time. Come on. Yeah, there you go, buddy. Yeah, run up here a little bit faster, though. So I can deal with these one at a time. Now, I prefer if the second one would do that same animation. That same attack, because it's... When you're prepared for it, it's pretty easy to avoid. Okay, now we got one this time. That's pretty good. Only you. You know what? Screw it. I feel like playing a dangerous game. Attack me, please. That was dangerous. That hitbox lasts forever. If I had spaced it poorly, I probably would have died. I'm gonna go over here. You give me warm, give me soft. I'm going to give you a ring of fallacious power.
No, that.
Quit the game. I believe this is how this works. I might be mistaken.
You.
Nope, I just lose it. Cool. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. But there are more playthroughs to get another one of those. I'll have to look into that after the stream is over. Okay. I'm gonna be careful because the floor will fall out, obviously, but I'm not quite sure of the dimensions of that. So we're gonna grab this bonfire. I think I opened this door, so Oscar should want to come down here, right? Come on, buddy. Let's go. Come down here. You realize you're fat rolling. That won't help you get you faster. Ooh. Parry. Now, there's no real reason to do this. He just drops a crest shield, but he also can aggro from a certain distance, and that can be a pain in the ass. I'm not quite sure when he will normally aggro. But grab the crest shield. We don't really need it. Come back in here. Not die to this guy, thankfully. Aggro this guy. Come on. Come on, do an attack. Do an attack. Or you can just walk at me. And dead. Now this boss isn't much harder than a silent demon, provided you know the boss's patterns. It doesn't do weird stuff for no discernible reason. Now the only difference is there are certain attacks that have a very large AoE. Like that one, in which case you run towards here. Has linger, so you gotta be careful. Punish. Now, hopefully we can get her to do this for the rest of the fight, because this is free, pretty much. It's free real estate, as they say. Yep. This is really good RNG. Wow, this is pretty spectacular, actually. The more time she does this, the more free damage we get. Oh, she's turning, We're gonna stay right here. Oh, she's jumping. That's not... Oh, shit! I forgot, there's linger on her jump. As long as you can see that dust, there's a hitbox. Which doesn't make too much sense, but that's how it is. So that's something you have to keep in mind. I'm gonna play the dangerous game and hit him while he's trying to walk up on me. Okay, let's run that one back. And maybe I'll heal up this time. I didn't roll to cancel the fall damage. Oh, this could be bad. I might die here. Up just barely. I'm gonna go this way. For the shockwave. Punish. Come back here. Avoid that shockwave. Remember the linger. Because there is some really significant linger on that hitbox. Don't whiff your attack. with attacks. That's not optimal, obviously. It's supposed to be a sprint attack, but we take those. Any DPS is good DPS in a game like this. But we don't want her to do those. Those are dangerous attacks that I don't know quite how to avoid reliably. Oh shit. That could have been bad. Pretty well, actually, dare I say. I should have drawn him more the other way. I shouldn't have gone to the left, I should have gone to the right. Chose the correct mistake. But I missed it. That's not so good. I'm supposed to run behind, but this can work. The reason you run behind is because your tail is also a hitbox, which makes it much easier to safely get in the damage that you want. Aim for the tail and get the hit, and then it's easier to get out when she does it again. But that's victory achieved anyways. Pick up the slab and a homeward bone, a humanity. So this didn't have the item we wanted either. That's fine. But we're going to get the peculiar doll, because that is also an item that we really want. Again, I don't quite remember how, or which items are given where. So it's better safe than sorry to get everything the first playthrough so we can learn everything's locations that we need, then not do it and have to go through on a second playthrough. I would not mind a Black Knight shield. No, just a chunk. But we have one more opportunity to get their drops, so that's fine. At least we have one more opportunity here. Which will be up ahead. Well. Up ahead in a manner of speaking. And hit this bonfire. More points of endurance. We want to get at least 40 endurance because we want all. We want all the stamina, of course, but we also want to be able to do fashion souls. Because fashion souls is best souls. We're gonna go kill this Black Knight as well. I'm probably just gonna throw on Elite Knight armor, to be honest, because that's one of my favorite armor sets. He's kind of in a poor position to get a wake-up backstab, but we can try. There we go. Oh, he decided to ignore the direction he was facing when he fell and get up facing the wall, or facing away from the wall, so we couldn't follow a backstab. That's fine, though. He was almost dead, so we just killed him in R1. Now, other than the peculiar doll, there's not much of worth here. So we're going to go ahead and head back to Firelink and then down to Quelaag. Now, the only unfortunate part about the Gauntlets of Horrific Binding is it does set your respawn point to outside the boss fog. So we can't just... So if we're going to use the Gauntlets, we can't just... use a Homeward Bone to Homeward Bone back to Firelink. Although we do have to light the bonfire and rest at the bonfire for Daughters of Chaos to make our lives easier in the end game of the run. When we're coming back down for Centipede Demon and all of that. regardless, we're gonna grab this item, even though we just got back from the asylum and we don't care about the item that's there, that key gives us. We're just going to continue on. Talk to Laurentius.
Boss, yeah, I am. Oh yeah.
Great, great swell.
Yeah, wonderful. I'm sure here.
We probably won't use the Pyromancy Flame. Actually, there's no downside to it. So I suppose we can. No downside to knowing this. All these Pyromancies.
Goodbye then. Come back.
And using them. So that's fine, I guess. We need to get it to at least plus 10, I believe, so that we can see Piranha, or who's, yeah, I think that's her actual name, who's the sister of Quelaag, the boss we're gonna fight. The only one of the only ones not turned into a horrific demon. And she will allow us to ascend our Pyromancy Flame from plus 15 to a more powerful Pyromancy Flame and upgrade that to plus 5. So we kind of want to get this to plus 10 at least. Nope, that's not going to happen today. But right now anyways. I guess we'll have to make 2 trips. Yeah. We'll go up there. Or we'll go down there, kill Quelaag. Come back up here to upgrade our Pyromancy Flame to plus 10 or plus 15, I suppose, if we can. Then Homeward Bone back down, ascend it, and then run back up. That shouldn't be too bad. It's a little bit more effort than I wanted to put in for this, but it'll be worth it because Pyromancies are basically just put points into attunement and you can use them. Which is very good right now because that's more damage for free, basically. I wish I remembered which boss dropped the chest plate that I want. Because I would just go do it now, supposing that I can do it now. That was almost bad. These guys would definitely one-shot me if they hit me. They hit hard enough in normal game, and with only 11 vitality, well, I definitely wouldn't survive them at this difficulty. So I see you have chosen death. But we'll rest at this bonfire, if only because that'll help us Homeward Bone back out. Quelaag is not a particularly difficult boss, I would say, but she does have some mechanics that can make it difficult to kill her if you're not careful. I'm not particularly worried, but we might die a few times. Hopefully 0, but we're never so lucky as that, really. Except on the easiest bosses. We're just gonna run past these guys because there's no real point to fighting them. We'll get poisoned because, yeah, fuck Blighttown. Maybe we're so lucky as to go to Super Lana. Nope. Cannot Super Lana. Now this is one that we will kill. Fuck. Moving on. If I had hit him there, yes, but I miscalculated. And remember that when you're walking through water like this that slows you down in sprinting, your attacks just kind of come out like that. Which can be very good because it's very fast, but if you're not expecting it, like I wasn't, you can end up doing exactly what I did. which is falling short, because you're expecting to have a little bit more travel distance than that, and a little bit more wind up. Oh, I do have a broken pulse pump. That's useful. Now we're going to equip the Gauntlets of Perfect Binding. Since we've entered this boss fog, anytime we die, we will immediately respawn outside of that boss fog. That's something to be aware of. It does have a very large AoE and a lot of linger, so you have to be very careful with that. Also have to be careful because she can push you into the lava. Or do that. That was weird. I was not expecting that in the slightest. This is just free damage. I'm going to take another kill up because apparently I can survive that. She didn't fall. Well, I'm gonna need you to come back over this way and get up that lava. Yes, thank you. There's a certain spot on that side that if you hit at the end of her attack, you gotta kind of hit her main body. But she'll like lean down onto the spider and it'll do an AoE. For some reason she hasn't done it though. I find odd. She really should not be allowed to do that. That's kind of odd. She did the stab stuff. I hesitate to say it, but this is going well. Except for the pole position. I think that she's spitting a lot more lava than I'm comfortable with. Almost pushed us into it. And dead. Well, seems I put on the gauntlets for Binding for no reason. But that's fine. I still have to sit down at a bonfire here anyways. To save myself some time later on. So I don't have to. So I can skip straight down here instead of having to run all the way back down. It cost me some time in the short run, right now, but it'll save me a significant amount of time later on. Always say yes to this, otherwise you have to kill him. In order to get to this bonfire. He'll take a sweet old time. But now, we're not going to level up. Because we're going to go back up to Firelink, upgrade our Pyromancy Flame as much as possible, then have Quelana ascend it down here. That does mean we have to run down here, or run back up Blighttown twice. But that's usually not too bad. I say now, at which point I will proceed to die several times trying to do this and probably lose all 84,000 souls. Because that's what happens. Pyromancy Flame won't necessarily be too useful. We'll be able to get Pyromancies, which, given that they don't scale off of any particular stat, will be fairly strong now. But they will probably get relatively weak compared to, say, the damage you can output with Dark Bead, which is a method we will be relying on once we hit the much later NGs. Just purely for the sake of efficiency, honestly. I mean, some of these bosses, once you get to like NG plus 30 or 40, just take so long to kill, even with like good weapons like the Black Knight Halberd and like the Grant. They take so much damage that killing them is a real pain. Even with Dark Bead, so I hesitate to even use anything other than Dark Bead on bosses. It's going to be a very important item to grab in every single run. So for that reason, we want to have at least 10 casts of it in order to maximize our number of possible casts. And 10 attunement slots. I think the maximum you can have is 10 in this game. I know you can only get 10 through upgrading attunement, and since we'll probably just be using the same rings for the rest of the run anyways, I don't see it mattering too awfully much. Now, I'm going to shield through here just in case. Yep, see, there's the reason we've shielded, otherwise I would have been toxic. Which is very dangerous when you have low health like I do, and it does fixed damage, and you have to make a long run back to a bonfire. There's still the opportunity for it to come through one of these floorboards or a missing collision box through here until he loses aggro, which is obviously not a very good thing, but we can make do. I'm going to grab this, although I don't really need, I think this is just the key. Yeah, don't need this at all, because I have the master key, and that key is only to unlock the shortcut door up ahead. Okay, that roar is good. You didn't roar, that's not good. Well, that could have been much worse for sure. That's the kind of the most dangerous part, is getting past those guys. However, once you get past them, they can't, you have to kind of let them catch up to you. And they also won't come out of this cave, watch, see? They stop right there, they will not, they always leash right at that cave. I hope I have a whole run. Yes, I have 4. Good. And now, you'll notice I purposely didn't send up the elevator last time, exactly for that reason. Because there have been at least one occasion where I went to come back up here, forgetting that I sent the elevator back up, anticipating my death, and then died there because I wasn't paying attention. So when I'm planning on coming back up that way, I make sure not to send the elevator back up. I'm going to talk to him.
Oh, hello. Oh, please, as always.
Going to grade this to at least plus 10. Hopefully plus 15. Nope.
Goodbye then.
Let's see, I should have Quelaag's Soul, which is 8k. That might get me one more.
Oh, hello. Oh, as always.
Nope, okay, well we shouldn't go back down there now that I think of it. Because we don't have the souls to do what I was going to do. Can I level up? I don't want to. Okay, now next descends Funhouse, which not so bad. Once you know what to do. Now, of course, I've probably jinxed it, but it's not. It shouldn't be that bad, let's just say that. It is definitely one of the harder areas for newcomers. Up there with Blighttown, due to its complex layout and traps that are very inconvenient if you don't know where they are. However, if you do know where they are minimally threatening at best. Now, if I'm so lucky, I might have two Titanite. I do not, which means we will not be going to Andre right now. Hello? Hello? Oh, shice up. Oh, really? Oh, those are two-shot. That's interesting. That's good to know. That was unfortunate timing. Now, this is where I predict having the most deaths. Is because those two, having two of those guys aggroed on you at the same time is not a fun time. If you're lucky, you can take out at least one of them with this. No. Oh, I only aggroed one. That's even better, honestly. How did I backstab? There we go. That was really weird. I, for some reason, could not backstab him. Whatever, that's perfectly fine, actually. Come on, buddy. Come down here and fight me. That's a dangerous attack to parry, but they take, for some reason, significantly more damage from criticals than they do from regular attacks. Although this weapon is good enough that it staggers them every time it swings, which is honestly almost as good. Now, if I wanted to be particularly lame, I could just farm that to get the souls that I need, but that's boring. Nobody likes being boring. I'm going to slip past this guy and fall off, hopefully. Yep, we are that lucky. And by the time he gets back up to his normal standing location, we'll probably have lost aggro. Wow, that did a lot of damage. Don't want that to get hit by that again. Take care of that. We'll grab these large Titanite shards just because. That's one of the harder sections of this level that we're past. This one is technically kind of difficult if you don't know what to expect. But you can just make that guy eat shit by standing right about here. Or he could just ruin all my plans and get too far in. And die for it. See, even now, partial parries are very deadly. I might have screwed up here. I have just enough time to watch him eat shit as well. Make sure he can't bother me. Now, what I normally do is I bring this guy over here, because he can't activate the pressure pad by himself, unfortunately. So I'll bring him over here. Now, carefully kill him like so. Now, in a normal game run, where you also have significantly more health than I do, you can go up here, and by running up there and then backstepping at the right time, you can backstep through that ball. You'll take a lot of damage, but it's much faster than coming down this way. We're going to ignore that chest because it's a mimic, and I don't feel like finding out how tough mimics are. Energy plus 7. Careful of that, because if you stay on there for too long, as hinted by the bloodstains, you'll be impaled on a ceiling of spikes. Obviously not so good. We're going to save, you know, no. We're only going to be using Dark Before when we start using Magic anyways, so there's no point in saving Big Pet Logan. Now, if you run it through this at the correct time while angering yourself into the wall, you can avoid getting shot by all. It's something like that. You can avoid getting shot by any of those arrows and still get through there without having to waste time waiting for it. However, I do not feel like dying this far into the castle because I made a small mistake. Fuck. And of course, as I say that, I end up failing a parry. Like I said, I predict several deaths coming through here. It's not that this area is particularly hard, but being constantly one-shot makes everything a little bit more difficult. I think I'm going to say screw fighting most of these enemies, and I'm just going to run through everything, honestly. You can run past these guys if you're particularly brave, and they'll normally just get knocked off by these. However, you cannot slow down much. Now, if I'm not mistaken, that guy doesn't respawn. I'm gonna wait for the ball. Oh wait, no. Ball does not come because it's currently facing the wrong direction. And that doesn't fix itself until you cross over to where it would normally change. That's a dangerous attack. He almost pulled me with him. Thankfully, it'll take him a while to get back up there. I'm going to take the risk. Yep, I made it. Just barely. Mr. Snake Man's probably going to eat a lot of shit on his way down if he manages to survive somehow. I don't think he will survive. It's looking the wrong direction. I'm going to do this again just to be safe. And he died. He got all the way to the bottom though, surprisingly. Oh fuck. Let's not kill ourselves on that ball. That would be an embarrassing way to die. Please move, thank you. That's probably the most tricky trap there. It has a very specific and small area to avoid. If you run through here very quickly, you won't have to worry about getting lit on fire by a giant firebomb. You can just drop down here and get the bonfire. Now we're not going to worry about upgrading the Pyromancy flame any further than we already have. We're just going to spend our souls now, because once we can get back from Anor Londo, we'll have plenty of souls from fighting Ornstein and Smough to level up the Pyromancy flame, that is. Assuming we can kill Ornstein and Smough in a reasonable amount of time. Which is debatable, honestly. That fight can be difficult depending on who you're trying to kill first. If you're trying to kill Smough first, you're going to have a bad time because Ornstein is so fast. But if you're trying to kill Ornstein first, it's not so bad because if you keep Smough far enough away, you don't have to worry about it quite so much. Because Ornstein being faster than Smough will... That killed me. Yep, I should have just dodged. That might have even killed me if it had hit me before I attacked. But with counter damage, definitely killed me. Okay, let's not do anything stupid again. Let's just run through here. Probably gonna block that wall. Go here, we're going to make sure to kill the firebomb guy because he will throw firebombs into the boss arena. Fuck. I thought he was doing an arm attack when he was doing a kick. Well, that's just embarrassing. Try this again. But now he's doing arm attacks. 2, we're gonna stay kind of behind him. No, we want to stay behind him in case he does the temper tantrum attack, because that will obviously kill us, and it has pretty decent tracking. That's the one. But after he's done, he will probably die. Yep, and a Titan chunk. Probably won't need it, but better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. And now we'll fight the boss. We're going to try to push him off the cliff, so... Damaging. Are you shitting me? Well, that's just dead. That grab has a really wonky hitbox. And he has really good tracking when he's doing it. So that attack is very hit or miss, whether you can dodge it or not. But now we don't have to worry about Fireball Guy. So we'll just run past the Crossbow Guy. We'll get a Rare Ring of Sacrifice, but I don't see that having much function in a run like this, where we get enough souls from killing bosses that it doesn't really matter if we lose a few here or there. Even if that few is 25,000. That's only one level up. So it's not too terribly much of a loss. Really, you're gonna do me like this? Fine. I wasn't going to kill you, but I guess you made me kill you. Normally what he'll do is when you get up to him, he'll run backwards and try to shoot you like that. But, I suppose he wasn't in the mood for that today. I want him to... Oh, man. Oh. Wasn't doing the grab, he was doing the slam. If we stagger him now, that'll be pretty good. Oh! I thought he was staggered. Shit! Well, that was not a stagger, that was a wind-up. Today I learned. Let's try. Third time's the charm, right? And you know what? This entire time I forgot to equip the Gauntlets of Perfect Binding. So I've been wasting plenty of time running back. Wow. When I need it, I forget to put it on, and when I don't need it, I put it on. Wonderful. Now watch. I'll put them on this time, and I won't need it. I won't have needed to do it. But you know what? Better safe than sorry, I guess. You're gonna do me like this again? What a dick. It's really just... See if they work like that. Probably not. Oh, I can fix that. But just save and quit. And reload the game. Thankfully, because I'm playing on a computer, that doesn't take too long. Now I can be super sure that when I die, I'll respawn right outside the boss fight. Okay, sir. Yes, do that attack. Start damaging you. That's a lot of turning during that. Stamina to regen. That was a bad roll. You could stagger any time. Anytime now. we'll just kill him normally then. Staggered him just in time for it to not matter. Cool. That'll only get worse as the game, as we get more consecutive playthroughs, because I wasn't doing enough damage now with a +3 Black Knight Halberd to stagger him. Make sure I get my souls. Yep, that's a lot of souls. Skip the cutscene because I've seen it a million times. And Milano still is really beautiful though. Wow. Well, I think I'll be ending sometime in the next 20 minutes, just because we've made quite a bit of progress. Quite a bit more progress than we made last time in 3 hours. Just upgrade. Well, I guess we can start putting points into attunement. Now we've got 40 endurance. Excuse me. Let's see. Let's put on some hard leather boots and some hard leather armor. Nope. That'll work. Looks better than looking at beef jerky sticks, that's for sure. I think if we make it to the next bonfire, next 20 minutes, I'll call it there. Kill him just for fun of it. I stagger him in 2 hits, so enough time to not have to worry about the staggers or anything. We're gonna go around here. I believe that, yeah, the chest is down here, not up there. We're gonna grab this Demon Titanite because we'll need that for upgrading Great Sword of Artorias. Now, we probably won't use it for until our stats hit 40, 40, 40, 40. Actually, that's probably what I should have been putting my points into instead of attunement. Dexterity. Get dexterity to 40, that'll improve my damage a little bit more. 40 or 50. Or strength at 40. Yeah, I think I'll take strength to 50 and then start upgrading dex. Not quite a one-shot. Interesting. That was bad. Ooh. They don't do enough damage to one-shot. That's good. I have a bow, so I'm going to take out as many of these guys as I can by headshotting them off the rafters. Let's try from here. Oh, wow, that went way over him. Dang. Let's not waste arrows. Want to do the thing. Can't do the thing. Oh, that could have gone worse. It could have gone better, but it also could have definitely gone worse. Okay, now let's try that again. This guy will definitely aim higher for him. Okay, a little bit lower. Try there. Nope. That was the same spot, wasn't it? Yep. King get it to move precisely enough. That's fine, I suppose. That's what they should do under better circumstances. What? He rolled back. He took out a parrying shield. I've never... Oh, and then he just... That was a weird sequence of events. Oh, they're smart enough to do that. Interesting. So he'll come back up this way. I think, yeah. Oh, there's two of them. Shit, that's not bad. That's not good. Ooh. That was... You bitch. Oh, and they drink just as fast as I do. That's interesting. Okay. You learn new things every day, apparently. Okay, now we have the shortcut. In the event that we die. Come on, buddy, fall down there. You know you want to. Yeah, you can totally reach me with your flying attacks. Oh, I missed. That's not good. Yeah, that was terrible. Wow, what the fuck? I missed the plunging attack and then I roll way too early. Well, that could have gone better. Could have gone worse. Well, couldn't have gone much. Well, I could have died before I got the shortcut. Or before I lowered the bridge. But it could have definitely gone better. Pretty sure I've lost my chance to cheese him like that. You can jump over that fence if you time it right, but I didn't think about it until the last second. Suppose if I die again, I'll show it off. Supposing it doesn't kill me, I guess. You know, the one time you'd expect... Did it put, oh, it put my souls at the top. What a bastard. This game. See, it doesn't count this item as one piece of terrain. So... Or it doesn't count this as a valid piece of terrain for, putting souls down. Like, there are certain places like this that move that you can't, that if you die on, it'll put it on the last non-moving place you touched. In that case, it was that area right there. If I had perhaps gone back to the bridge over there. He's walking really far back there, isn't he? Yeah, come on, buddy. I'm right here. You got this, man. You got this. Yeah. That's like a third of his health gone for free. Ooh, that could have gone worse. Well, I'm not gonna let a gift horse in the mouth. Get the free kill. I'm missing the gargoyle tail axe, but that's not really saying much. Saying you missed a gargoyle tail axe is like saying you missed a, I don't know, a firebomb. It's not really that great of an item. Now comes the actually difficult part, where we have to get past the famous Anor Londo archers. This will either go really well, or I'll die 17 times because the arrows one-shot me. And because these fuckers one-shot me. So I don't fight them, I run past them. And they have a tendency to throw shit. Like that. And this guy has a high chance to throw it up at me while I'm running up here. Like that. And like that. Yep, see? Very dangerous. Running through here with in one-shot range. I thought I would be safe for a second after that first one missed. But I guess the second one also through. Which, of course, kills me. I got pretty far my first try, though, which means I'm probably going to die like 17 times to the first 3 gargoyles. I'm sorry, demons are not actually gargoyles. They look like gargoyles, though. And there's that skip I mentioned earlier. Saves you a bit of time. Not super useful in a normal run, but it's nice to be able to skip over that, especially on this long run. I kind of wish there was a bonfire on the other side of this bridge. That would make the run back so much less traumatic. Like, say, one right here where they put it in Dark Souls 3. I think it's right here. I was actually really hyped, unlike some people, when I saw Anor Londo in Dark Souls 3. I was like, wow, that's so awesome. I get to come here again? Now, of course, you don't get to explore the entirety of it. Really? Yep, that'll happen sometimes. And knowing my luck, it'll happen several times. But such is this run. I'm not gonna bother taking it the long and hard way because, wow, giggity. I'm not gonna bother taking it the slow way by killing everything when it's fairly likely that I'll die trying to do that, or I'll die I'll die trying to get past the archer on the right. Although that's not too terribly common for that to happen. Normally once you get to that point, as long as he doesn't continue to pull arrows and switches to sword when you get up in his face relatively quickly, you don't have much to worry about. As long as the main thing to be worried about is the direction you're facing when you block the arrows, or if you choose to block them as opposed to dodge them. Because if you are pointed if you're pointed towards the wall as you're running up towards him and he shoots an arrow at you, you will get, when you get pushed back by the force of the arrow, because it's a great arrow, you will get pushed off the edge, more likely than not, and die. And that's just really sad when you make it that far, only to die like that. Really. Like I said, I made it really far on the first attempt. Therefore, on subsequent attempts, I'm going to do really poorly. Although that's really just that particular attack. But I could have dodged it better, honestly. It would have been smarter to try to go between his legs than to go around him like I normally do when he does that attack. But can't always be perfect, I suppose. Almost didn't make it that time. Thought I saw something weird there. This is one of the more irritating runbacks I find along the lines of the Capra Demon, where it's very easy to die and it takes a long time to run back. That's a good attack. That sweep can be irritating. Now we're going to try hugging this side. We're going to dodge it properly this time because I saw it coming. Going to hope very strongly that he doesn't choose to kill me. Then we're going to try to get this guy to go into elimination. Okay, I'm just going to risk it. this... Hopefully he falls off. Shit. That's bad. Okay, that didn't prevent me from parrying the second attack. Now that shield attack is something that only the knights really do. Okay, he didn't drop a shield. Good. That's something that only those knights really do, and it's like some of the soldier enemies. But that kind of directly counters my typical method of parrying, which is just hold shield, wait for them to do an attack, and then parry. Which is normally really good because if you parry too late, you won't take damage from missing the parry, or you won't take as much damage. But seeing as I made it to this bonfire, I'm going to call the stream here. No one was here on the stream today, which is unfortunate, but if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you for spending an hour and 25 minutes of your time watching, and I hope you watch in the future. So, thank you, and goodbye for now.